If you want to be rich, think big, think differently. Robert Kiyosaki. If there is a single secret, then it can be simply put: think big, create, plan, rethink, even bigger, then prepare, practice, and perform. David Berglas. If your life's work can be accomplished in your lifetime, you're not thinking big enough. Wes Jackson. Thinking big is only one part of being a successful entrepreneur. Catherine Minshew. Everything is a possibility. I believe we're put on this earth to think big and dream big. John Jones. Think big. Make a plan and stick to it, and you can do anything you want to do. Chase Lane. If we allow ourselves to dwell on negatives, on hurts, on mistreatments, we will be negative thinkers. So be open to positive thinking. Think big. Benjamin Carson. I love to think big, and with the right people on board, I know I can make anything. John Augustavo. It's important to think big, but you've got to work small. Marlo Thomas. The need of the hour is to think big. The more we focus on skill, scale, and speed, it will increase India's growth trajectory. Narendra Modi. If you think big, then it's going to be big. Emeril Lagasse. The final key to the way I promote is bravado. I play to people's fantasies. People may not always think big themselves, but they can still get very excited by those who do. That's why a little hyperbole never hurts. Donald Trump. Don't let small thinking cut your life down to size. Think big, aim high, act bold, and see just how big you can blow up your life. Gary W. Keller. Think big. Expand your thinking first, and your situation will soon follow. Laurel Langmeyer. You must allow yourself to start thinking bigger and acting bolder with regards to what's possible for you. Seriously, don't wait. Start now. Hal Elrod. To think big is to love the universe, to embrace our passion. To love is to fight for what we love. What a waste not to, when we have only this one life to live. Michael Port. The best advice, bro, is think big as you can possibly think, and shoot for that. The bigger you aim for, the bigger you're going to be. Set the standards for yourself as high as you possibly can, and also surround yourself with people who have the same visions you have. Gabriel Iglesias. Start small, think big. Don't worry about too many things at once. Take a handful of simple things to begin with, and then progress to more complex ones. Think about not just tomorrow, but the future. Put a ding in the universe. Steve Jobs. It's never too late to think big. Widen your horizons. Look beyond your normal limits. See things in a larger picture. Consider the next step. The flow-on effect. Opportunities will become evident. Motivations will become clear. Perspective will emerge. One must live the way one thinks or end up thinking the way one has lived. Paul Bourget. The biggest man with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest man with the smallest mind. Think big anyway. John C. Maxwell. You are what you think. So just think big, believe big, act big, work big, give big. Forgive big, laugh big, love big, and live big. Andrew Carnegie. One method of staying ahead of rising asset prices and the declining dollar is to think bigger and come up with better plans. As important as financial and business planning is a plan for personal development and self-improvement. I'm often asked to invest in people's business plans, and one of the reasons I turn many of them down is because a big plan requires a big person who's spent time on personal development. In a lot of cases, the business plan is far bigger than the person with the plan. That is, the dream is bigger than the dreamer. Robert Kiyosaki.
You are watching Wise Words of Wisdom, Inspirational Quotes, IQ, the Inspirational Quotes channel everyone goes to for their daily motivation and to learn from the most successful men and women in history. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a new episode. Today's sponsor is Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Discover the secret to having good luck from America's greatest prosperity teacher, Bob Proctor. 6 Minutes to Success is based on Bob's more than 50 years of research into what makes or keeps people from being successful. Get instant access to the free video right now. The link is in the description. Now let's get back to more great quotes.
If people aren't calling you crazy, you aren't thinking big enough. Richard Branson. The biggest obstacle to wealth is fear. People are afraid to think big, but if you think small, you'll only achieve small things. T. Harv Eker. The school system begins setting us all up for nothing more than mediocrity from the time we are 5 years old, and it continues until we leave that system. We learn to get a good job and work hard to build someone else's dream. We don't know what we don't know. Study the successful and emulate them. Consume content that teaches you how to think big, and then take massive action. Grant was here. We have to think bigger as writers. We have to try and change the world. Larry Kramer. Believe big. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. Think of little goals and expect little achievements. David J. Schwartz. Think big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams. Cheryl Richardson. If you're going to be thinking anyway, think big. Donald Trump. If you think you can't, you're right. Carol Bartz. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. Zig Ziglar. Whatever you're thinking, think bigger. Tony Hsieh. If you're not adapting to the very rapidly changing environment, if you can't think creatively, you lose big in this society because there are very few jobs for you left. Robert Sternberg. The little things I can obey, but the big things, how we think, what we value, those you must choose yourself. You can't let anyone or any society determine those for you. Maury Schwartz. I'm a big fan of huge populations of people, so you think with 300 million people in the country, you don't even have to please 1% to be phenomenally successful. Penn Jillette. Stretch your goals. In other words, think big and think far off. Sarah Jen. I think big. I choose to help thousands and thousands of people. T. Harv Eker. The Canadian kid who wants to grow up to be Prime Minister isn't thinking big. He is setting a limit to his ambitions rather early. Mordecai Rickler. There's no job too big to benefit from a small-town person's perspective. I discovered, just as there's no town too small for thinking big. Unita Blackwell. Think big and always focus on the positive. Donald Trump. Work hard. Think big. Listen well. Ben Feldman. Philosophy teaches you to think big. J. Chandrasekhar. Once you think bigger than yourself, then the cause becomes the issue. If you think on a higher plane, you can come together to work on our problems. Chuck D. 5 years from now, I see myself still working hard to get where I want to be, because I think big. Channel Iman. Have fun. Live life. Think big. Love hard. Chelsea Crost. I do believe that India needs a lot more foreign direct investment than we've got, and we should have the ambition to move in the same league as many other countries in our neighborhood are moving. We may not be able to reach where the Chinese are today, but there is no reason why we should not think big about the role of foreign direct investment, particularly in the areas relating to infrastructure, where our needs for investment are very large. We need new initiatives, management skills, and I do believe that direct foreign investment can play a very important role. Manmohan Singh. All of us in government service were elected to solve the problems that have plagued our nation. We are here to think big, to act boldly, and to rise above the petty, partisan squabbling of Washington, D.C. We are here to take action. It's time to start building our country with American workers and with American iron and aluminum and steel. It's time to put up soaring new infrastructure that inspires pride in our people and our towns. It is time at last to put America first. Donald Trump. When you are on a major record label, you're just forced to think big. You are forced to think about things like how many radio spins did we get this week? Or how many albums did we sell across the country? Being independent, you are just focused on the city that you are playing in tonight. How many people can I meet and become friends with tonight? That's one of the great things about being an independent artist. Graham Colton. We need to think bigger, dream bigger, and get bigger. Van Jones. If you can think outside the box, or you can think bigger than that, then that will keep you centered in this earth, in this planet. I think, with me, I always believed in God, but after certain things happened to me, that's when I knew without a doubt. Ryan Montgomery. I have no problem with thinking small. Sometimes you have to think small first in order to think big. Rocky. You can't just dream big. You've got to think big, and then plan big. Tom Black. I think big. That's what my mother taught me. If you think small and accomplish it, what does it mean? Who cares? To me, the sky's the limit, and I'm going to try and get there. Eli Manning. Think big. Universe is a village, a small place. When you think big, all will get smaller. Mehmet Murat Ilden. We hope you have enjoyed these quotes as much as we do. We know your time is very important. Thank you for choosing to spend it with us. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Click the card to check out another great one now.